Hope you're amused or enjoying my intros. Hi, I'm Aswa. I am a commercial film director, and thanks for visiting my channel. Check out my new ebook. It's only $5. It's titled The Only Book You'll Need to Become a Commercial Film Director. And it is a book that I wish I had when I started off my, film directing career, because it took me years before I got into the industry, and I feel that if I had the knowledge that I have now, it would have shaved off a couple of years. I mean, this book will help you to really kickstart your career as a commercial director. I provide a lot of tips and my experiences and things you should do and not do, and yeah, just from my experience. Basically, I created this book, in hopes to help new young directors out there who struggle to find a way to getting into the industry, because once they graduate, they're like, okay, now what? And that's where I was stuck. So at the time, I was doing all sorts of odd jobs here and there, and fate, it may seem, I stumbled, finally and gradually stumbled upon where I am now as a commercial film director. So you'll get there. The universe works in mysterious ways, and yeah, you'll get there. But if you want to get there quick, get my ebook, because it's the only book that'll help you into becoming that commercial director, lead you to that career path you've always wanted. And also check out my other venture, Film Foo, with the motorbike team, which is way better. And Keanu Reeves saw that film and he said, I want to shoot that for John Wick 3.
What's up, guys? It's Kels here, the homie Ashwa. Real! And we're here for Film Foo.
Dans de la terre, chez nous le soleil se couche et quelque part il se lève, ouais. Y'a certaines choses qui ne changent pas. Les esprits en présent tant pis si tu sens pas. Le cycle de la nature, la rotation de la terre. Chez nous le soleil se couche et quelque part il se lève, ouais. Y'a certaines choses qui ne changent pas. Les esprits en présent tant pis si tu sens pas. La suavité teste mes habilités. Il me suffit d'une merde que je perde de stabilité. La vie devient de plus en plus dure. Normal qu'on gère nos activités, qu'on cherche la facilité au moment.
So check it out, Film Foo. Lots of fun stuff. Bunch of geeks talking about film and what their favorite films are. And yeah, Film Foo. Today's topic, again, is a topic that I guess a lot of people in the industry, or people who are new to the industry, are curious about. And it's about payment. I do have an episode. You can check it out either here or here. It's about how much do commercial directors actually get paid. And yeah, do check that one out. So this one is about how you get paid, or when you get paid. When do directors get paid? And I'll tell you, the simple answer is there is no simple answer, because it could depend on the country, it could depend on the production house, it could depend on the project. There are a few projects, actually there have been many projects where I have received my payment in cash. Some other projects, they transfer the amount into your bank account. But when do you get paid is probably the question you're probably asking. Now that depends on, let's say, the deal you make with the production house. So who pays you? It's the production house that pays you. So prior to the project, the EP, which stands for executive producer, or the producer, will ask you, what's your rate, or what's your director's rate, or what's your daily rate. Okay, let's say it's $10,000. So my daily rate is $10,000. It's a one-day shoot. Okay, so depending on the project, but you can ask the producer, how does it work for payment? There are times where you can ask for, let's say, you can ask for 50% after the offline edit has been approved, and then you get the rest of your payment when the project has been complete or is on air. Sometimes it's not 50% upfront, sometimes it's like 40%, 30%, depends on the project, depends on what the production house can provide. So sometimes, let's say it's 40%, and they'll say, okay, we'll give you 40% after the offline approval, and we'll give you the rest and the remaining. Sometimes they'll pay you within, like, let's say once the project is complete, then they'll say, oh, we'll pay you within the duration of when the project has been completed to till like, I don't know, 45 days or so. So this is something that you have to discuss. And yeah, it depends on the deal, but this is something that you have to discuss with the producer and see how you're getting paid, or if you're getting paid by cash. Sometimes I'll say what currency. So for example, in many cases I'll ask for US dollars, but that depends, because let's say you're doing a project in Australia and you live in Australia, then you ask for Aussie dollars, obviously. So again, it depends. But when you're doing, like, let's say an overseas project, then in most cases you would ask for US dollars. So for example, recently I did a project in Dubai. Obviously, I can't do anything with the currency there, so I would ask for US dollars. So if I had a project in Malaysia, there's nothing I can do with ringgit, so I would ask for US dollars. And again, it depends on the project, because when you're working overseas, then say sometimes you get flown off before the offline has been approved. So sometimes after the shoot, then like, let's say the next day or the day after, because sometimes the next day they need to transfer the raw files, convert it into proxies, and that usually takes half a day or day or so. And so usually you get to sit down with the editor the day after, and so you sit down with the editor, you you work with the editor and make sure that you have the cut you want. And sometimes, the client isn't available for that week, or so on and so forth. Because of your schedule, after the offline edit, then you're flown off before the offline can be approved. So you continue the offline, via Zoom or whichever, messaging or calling platform you use. In cases like that, you may make a deal with the producer saying, oh, before I leave, I would like to receive 40 or 50% of the payment in cash. But cases like that, yeah, you do receive your payment before the offline approval. There have been rare cases where I have received the full payment before the entire spot has been approved or complete. Very rarely, but it has happened. There have been cases where I haven't received my payment for like months, and it has happened. So yeah, you just got to really look into that. You got to make sure. Yeah, there are times you have to chase the producer. Unfortunately, there are cases you have to chase the producer and be like, hey, dude, man, the project has been complete for so and so months, and yeah, it's been 3 months. I would like to receive the rest of my payment. So in cases like that, surprisingly, it happens a lot in this industry. Payments do get delayed, and that's not always the case because of the production house. A lot of the reasoning is because, it could be because the client hasn't paid the agency, or the agency hasn't paid the production house. There are those reasons. So sometimes, even when you do accept the project, it's always good to check out the production house. Like, if you're not familiar with that particular production house, it's always good to check out their site and see, you can almost kind of suss it out. You can almost tell if they're professional or not. And usually the ones that are not very professional tend to delay their payments. Um, there's a little tip for you right there. Just keep a close eye on things like that. have been projects where I've directed, like it's been like a 3-day shoot, and the offline was approved, and then for some reason the project got cancelled. It never aired, for whatever reason. You still get paid in full, so make sure you chase after your payment as a director. So that happened to me, and I said to the producer, okay, so what's happening? It's not going to be on air. And the producer said, oh, no worries, you're still getting paid, because they've used me as a service. You know, I was there for those 3 or so days as a director, was there for the offline, etc., etc. But in any case, yeah, when there is a project that, let's say, gets cancelled or never sees the light of day, it never gets aired on TV or wherever it's meant to be aired, you still get paid in full for that project. There are cases where companies that are not very professional, and there are some sneaky producers out there, um, may want to find ways of not paying you, or maybe pay you a certain percentage but not in full. Now, you as a director, your service is you as a director, this is my fee. There is no compromise. There is no, oh, in case this happens, then you only get 50% of that. Definitely not. You as a director, you get paid full. So just know that whatever happens, or whatever producer tells you, that you only get a certain percentage because so and so happened, or because the agency was not happy with the final product or whatever. At the end of the day, the production house is paying you for your service. This is something I did not put in my book, so this is very vital information. And hopefully it's helping you young directors out there not to be taken advantage of, because it can happen and does happen. Payment. Don't shy away, or don't let anyone take advantage of you when it comes to payment. It's money at the end of the day. You need to make a living, and yeah, make sure you get your payment, chase after it. And there are times, like I said, where payments get delayed. It can be 3 months, 6 months. I've heard horror stories, let's not go there, but yeah, there have been some horror stories, but hopefully that does not happen to you. And yeah, always do some sort of background check on the production house, making sure that they are a professional company. And if, let's say, something seems shady, always ask. Like, let's say you're talking to the producer, always ask questions, and just make sure that everything is clear and nothing is like unanswered. I hope today's episode was informative. I think it was very informative, because these are situations and circumstances that have happened to me, or something similar, or people that I know of has happened. So hopefully it doesn't happen to you, but just in case, know how to protect yourself. Again, check out my socials. Go to my Instagram, aspa_han. I update daily. You can check out my Instagram story, all that stuff, Facebook, TikTok. Give this video a like, leave a comment, share, and most importantly, please subscribe. And again, check out my ebook. It's only $5. The only book you'll need to become a commercial film director. And I'm not just saying that because it's my own book, but it's a really good book. And the people who have purchased it have messaged me back and saying, this is an awesome book. I wish it was longer. But it's more quality than quantity. I really poured a lot of hours into this book. So yeah, a lot of tips, a lot of my personal experiences in this book. So do check it out. Oh, there are some pictures as well, some behind the scenes stuff in my ebook. So yeah, and check out Film Foo, where a bunch of film geeks talk about film and stuff. So hosted by myself and Kelvin. So until then, I'll see you in the next episode.